Astra Fading Stars has a beautiful art style, a pretty interesting story and some fun combat mechanics. The demo was short but sweet. It ends with a boss fight that is a fair challenge, and after beating it, I wanted to play more. You also have this move that functions as a parry, but also as a way to hover in mid-air. It's easy to master, and I can't wait to find out how the developers are going to implement this move in the rest of the game. I loved the overall presentation, and I was hooked from start to finish, so I am excited to play more. Rusted Moss is a bleak but very atmospheric Metroidvania that I highly recommend to play with a mouse and keyboard because of this grappling hook mechanic. The whole premise is, what I have seen so far, you are able to use your grappling hook on walls covered by moss, and you need to use rope physics to swing yourself across, while dodging and shooting everything. I really like the level design and the boss fights, and the final boss of this demo took me a couple of tries to defeat. I haven't seen much of the story yet, but this is another game that shouldn't be overlooked, because it has potential to be a really enjoyable Metroidvania. Full Void really surprised me with how engaging it was. The gameplay is really slow and movement is limited, but the atmosphere and the memorable set pieces were amazing. The animations and the death cutscenes are really smooth and sometimes hilarious. It's just a really solid atmospheric puzzle platformer that has its own unique style and feel. Some sections are a bit trial and error, especially when you have to use your laptop to hack something. But I didn't really mind, because the checkpoint system feels fair, and like I said, some deaths are really funny. This demo was intriguing from start to finish, so I really would like to play the full game when it's released. I really wished Teslagrad 2 would be higher on this list, because I'm really hyped for this one. The demo was solid, but it could have been better. The overall presentation is amazing, like the art style, the setting, the animations and the sound design, but the level design wasn't always that great. Some magnetic puzzles didn't feel as smooth as I would have hoped, and these cubes were really glitchy and slowed down the gameplay a lot. But it looks like it's going to be a Metroidvania, so that really makes me excited. The story looks really intriguing as well, so even though I had a few minor complaints about this demo, I'm still looking forward to play the rest of this game. Ghostland Yard is a precision platformer that really reminded me of Super Meat Boy, but with a different art style. This game is challenging, but the controls are so satisfying and the level design is super enjoyable. When you die, you can't blame anyone but yourself, and I really appreciate that. In my opinion, this game doesn't need any polish at all. I loved everything about it, and I wishlisted it straight away after playing the first few levels. The level design is never boring, because they keep adding all these new gimmicks, and I really like that you see multiple areas, so you get a great impression of what to expect from the full game. Really awesome demo, but beware of the challenge. Corsair's Madness is like an old school action platformer, but with modern flavors, like a really fun premise, smooth and varied gameplay, and great and creative level design that made me really excited to play the full game. It's challenging but fair, and there's enough to keep you engaged, like a mask that possesses you and changes your playstyle, and a bit of exploration and bonus challenges that will reward you with green coins so you can buy upgrades. I was really surprised by how good this demo was, and I really hope it will get more attention, because I think this could be a hidden gem that more people should know about. If you love platformers, you should definitely not ignore this one. I have this game on my wishlist for a while now, but I didn't expect Gestalt, Steam and Cinder to be so good. This is a really fast-paced Metroidvania that's just simple but so much fun. The art style is great, the combat is easy to master, the story looks intriguing and the overall presentation is really nice. I also love how plain and simple the skill tree is. It's quick and easy, and it really fits the rest of this game. The boss fight at the end was a bit lackluster though, because the attacks were easy to predict, but you had to drain its giant shield to deal damage. It was like a giant damage sponge that wasn't the most exciting to fight against, but the rest of the demo was really awesome, so make sure to check this one out. Bramble the Mountain King is a good example of why I love these kind of Steam festivals. I have never heard of this game before, but after playing the demo I am so excited. Sure, it could use some polish here and there, but just look at this game. I really enjoy these fairy tale-like settings, and this game is just one giant epic fairy tale full of amazing set pieces and charming characters. Don't get too cozy though, because it's also really unnerving and tense. I love the tone of this game, and I really would like to see more about the story and more of these peaceful but also scary scenarios. Make sure to keep an eye out on this one. It's going to be great. I was already excited about Off the Image, and I'm glad to say the demo didn't disappoint me. First of all, this game is visually stunning. The art style is amazing and the world is really beautiful, so that's reason enough to play this game already. The gameplay has potential. I'm sure it will be great, but in the demo you were a bit limited. Like, you start without a dash, so movement and combat is a bit stiff in the beginning. But when you unlock the dash ability, this game becomes a lot more fast-paced and therefore really enjoyable, but still challenging. The dash is not a dodge, there is contact damage, so keep that in mind. The final boss of this demo is also pretty difficult, but it really makes you excited for what's more to come. I think it can use a bit more polish here and there, especially opening up the skill tree drops the frame rate. But I can't lie, I really can't wait for this game to be released. A few honorable mentions I would like to share with you that just didn't make this list are Planet of Lana, a beautiful puzzle platformer that has a great presentation, but the gameplay was a bit repetitive, though I think it has potential. Gravity Circuit, a Mega Man-like action platformer that has challenging but fun level design and really difficult boss fights. But even though it's really solid, it's not something I haven't seen before, but make sure to check it out. It's really good. Saga of Sins has a great premise and a really interesting art style. I love the stained glass look, but the gameplay was a bit simple. I was hoping to see more transformations, but the demo lets you only play as the werewolf. Still a very interesting game that potentially could be great. The Exit Eternal Matters has a great presentation. It even has solid voice acting and cinematic set pieces, but I just haven't seen enough of this game yet. The stealth gameplay was interesting, but I enjoyed the platforming and puzzle solving a lot more. I really hope this game will have another demo with a lot more content, but it looks promising though. Nocturnal looks great. Has a fun mechanic where you have to use fire to light up areas and to be able to deal damage to certain enemies. The combat is simple but effective. The boss fights at the end of the demo was a nice challenge and has some cool attacks, but I haven't seen enough of the level design yet. Some places felt a bit empty, so there were a lot of moments where you are just running around, but the demo has piqued my interest for sure. Bionic Bay is honestly the game I'm the most excited for to play after playing the demo. The demo was flawless. I had so much fun, and it's also a pretty long demo that gives you a great first impression. Bionic Bay is probably going to be my favorite puzzle platformer gameplay wise. The level design is just amazing and so creative. It's more parkour than puzzle based, and this is totally fine, especially when the platforming is so smooth and responsive. You are like a tiny superhuman who can do all these sick jumps and moves, and with the aid of some new gadgets or fun gimmicks, This game, or at least this demo, just keeps on getting better and better. I don't know if there's any story at all, but I don't really mind, to be honest. The level design and the overall presentation should be enough to make you excited already. Just look at the trailer. Thanks for watching.